The next question is for Tony. The preamble for the next two questions actually is the property theft and the rise in the South Okanagan. The latest available data shows property crime increased by 10% from July to September of 2017 compared to the same period in 2016. Reports indicate that individuals or groups engaged in these criminal acts move from town to town in the South Okanagan plying their trade. Question 1. Do you think a larger local effort coordinated regionally to address property crime should be enacted? And the second question is, for the next candidate, would you be, as a next candidate, would you be willing to allocate budget money for additional policing to help reduce crime in Summerland?
I just need to clarify a moment. You want me to address the first question and Councillor Peake the second question?
No, you address both, please.
Oh, both, okay. At our last RDOS meeting, we heard from the Superintendent Dieger, and he did indeed tell us that crime had gone up, break and enters into personal property. He also told us that retail break and enters had increased by 65%. It is a real problem, not just in Summerland, but in other areas as well. We had a discussion at the RDOS table about perhaps looking to a more regional system. My response to that is, it doesn't work here. There is one positive that I can see, and that means that we would have 24-hour policing, something that we need here. But there are too many negatives, and the biggest negative to me is we have put millions of dollars into a police station. What do we do with it now? Taxpayers have paid for that police station. So to have a centralized detachment doesn't work for me, and I would suggest perhaps it doesn't work for a number of people in this room. Would you like me to carry on with answering the second question now?
I'll let you answer the second question, please.
Okay. Would I be willing to allocate budget money? I would be willing to allocate budget money, but it has to be the taxpayers that decide that. We have been told time and time again that we know it's very expensive to get overnight staffing in Summerland, not because it's the time of day, but because you can't have just a single officer on, you have to have 2 officers on, which means another 2 officers that we have to pay for. We at UBCM, through the Local Government Association, asked the minister to look at changing the costs between provincial and local government. Right now, provincial pays 30% and local government is responsible for 70% of our policing costs. So I would like to see policing throughout the night, 24/7. But if the community decides that's what they want to do and put their taxpayers' dollars into that, it does mean that something else has to be moved further down the list of priorities. I think this is a decision that needs to be made by the taxpayers. Thank you.
Thank you.